Have you been wondering what it would take to relocate to another city or country? In this episode, we're going to show you exactly how to do that.
And we're going to use Valencia, Spain as an example because that is exactly where we're heading next.
And we're extremely psyched, but we had to do some prep for this.
Right. You've got to research. So do your research before you go. For example, we had heard that Valencia was an amazing place for expats, just probably I think the most popular place in all of Spain for expats. So we talked to some friends and family that had been there or lived there and used TripAdvisor and expat blogs. Expat blogs are really helpful. And I'm kind of living on Google Maps to get a feel for the layout and different attractions and culture of Valencia.
Now, we've never been to Valencia, but because we loved Seville and Granada so much on our way back from Portugal last year, we decided to give Spain, a fair chance to win us over.
You're lucky you, Spain.
You have one shot. So we've been to Barcelona and Madrid actually quite a few times, and Barcelona was actually always on our bucket list of a place that we assumed we would go and live sometime for like a year or something, and we still might, except Valencia is brand new to us and we're kind of up for an adventure. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to give Valencia a shot.
When you go though, make sure you plan your stay. So this time we rented an apartment through Airbnb. We could have used Ukio as well, which is really popular in Spain for kind of long-term, short-term rentals. And make sure you book activities and tours ahead of time if you're traveling in high season like we are.
Right.
When you're traveling off season, you can be a lot more flexible and kind of wing it once you're there. But during high season, try to book as much as you can because you could, miss out on some of the experiences that you were looking forward to having while you're there.
When we first arrive, the first thing we're going to do is probably take a tuk-tuk tour. And a tuk-tuk tour are those little golf cart things that are touristy, but they give you a lay of the land and show you where the main points of the city are. Then we're going to take some long walks and actually just start seeing as much as we can on foot. And then we can usually find cool little neighborhoods or some restaurants or things like that we normally wouldn't have found if we were just going off the tourist maps.
I mean, that made a huge difference in Lisbon. I mean, we found so many cool neighborhoods. We found the Green Street.
Yeah.
We found just cool restaurants and shops. And, we would not have done that if we had kept going, riding in Ubers and not really just walking and walking. We spent hours every day walking.
We even found like our little cool laundromat place. Not laundromat, it's a laundry service that was so dirt cheap, we literally couldn't not use it. It was so great. And there were such nice people. But anyway, the point is you find what the locals would find to be the cool little nooks and crannies, right? And then, of course, we've done some research by, watching videos and watching TV shows and things about restaurants. And we saw Chef Jose's TV show on Valencia that had a lot of good information for restaurants, and we're definitely going to try that. But make sure that you call ahead because in the high season, it's going to be harder to get in.
Yep. I mean, I've already made a bunch of reservations. The other thing that I didn't tell you yet is I've enrolled us in a 2-day Spanish course. So I think it's going to be really...
That's actually a really good idea.
I know, I think so too.
I mean, we've been studying Duolingo I just hit my 500th day, and for some reason I still can't speak Spanish very well. So this is actually a great idea. And also, the immersion. We're going to be immersed, and I know I'm going to be able to figure out how to at least order a cappuccino in the morning. Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to go and see what the most popular tourist spots are, because even though we're there scouting this out for a place to live potentially, we want to see what makes the city popular. So we're going to go and see kind of the key attractions in the beginning, put on the vacation hat at first, and then once we do that, we're going to start digging in and seeing it through the eyes of someone who might be living there.
Kind of find those hidden gems.
Right.
Yeah. And here, cannot stress this enough. Meet locals and expats. Don't just meet other Americans, meet a broad range of expats and definitely talk to locals, spend time with locals if you can. And they'll just give you a much better sense of the actual city's culture and way of life and pros and cons.
Right.
And, you can, if you don't know anybody there, you can always use apps like Meetup. We've never done that, but I hear good things. But we, like, for example, are part of Internations, which was fabulous when we were in Lisbon. We met the coolest people.
And we've kept in touch with them.
Yeah, from all over the world. We met so many interesting people and went to so many really fun events. So we joined that for Valencia, and we're already invited to a number of dinners and events. So that kind of allows you to just jump right in.
Through the locals, we also found a doctor that we ended up really liking and still being in touch with. And this was really helpful because we ended up getting COVID when we were there, which hopefully will not happen in Valencia. But the point is, we started getting relationships with people that could really tell us what they really thought about it. For instance, this doctor ended up having a whole conversation with us about the air quality in Lisbon. And the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of cruise ships that dock actually right about around where our apartment was. And the air is, they run their engines the whole time and it actually pollutes the air. So we wouldn't have known that. And now we know, like, okay, don't live right down near the water in Lisbon because you're going to get a lot of extra air pollution.
The other thing, at the end of your trip, really take the time to evaluate your experience and create a pros and cons list. Really just, do a serious reflection of what you loved about the place and what you didn't like so much. It's easy when you get home to just jump back into your life and then kind of forget what you liked about it or didn't like about it. And so even, tracking along the way too, and just take note of things that you like, because you could forget by the time you get home.
I mean, honestly, even from one day to the next, you can forget things a lot. It's hard to want to like sit down and actually write things like this when you're on a vacation or on a scouting trip, but it really will help because the spur of the moment thoughts are going to be the ones that actually have the most depth.
Yeah. In summary, if you are trying to determine if a new city is right for you, first research the city you're going to.
Plan your trip ahead so you at least have some things that you know you're going to be able to go do and you're not wandering the streets at 3 in the morning.
No, you should be wandering the streets.
At 3 in the morning, not knowing where you're going.
Yeah,
get the basics. Yeah.
All right. And explore the city. Just go off the beaten path. Don't just do the tourist stuff. Don't do all the tourist stuff only. Like, go find other things to do.
And meet locals and a lot of other expats. Find people that have been there, that have kind of walked the path you're walking, but are a little bit further ahead in their journey.
Right. And last, just remember to take the time to evaluate and make a pros and cons list. You're going to find it really helpful.
And I have to encourage you to keep an open mind and just enjoy the experience because, sometimes when you go on a trip, like any trip, you can go there expecting one thing and then it goes another way and you can get an attitude where, oh, I'm disappointed. Don't do that. Keep your mind open because the things that are thrown at you oftentimes lead to something really cool and you'll end up enjoying the ride if you just don't hold on to your pre-planned concept of what this is going to look like.
Right. Done. Anyway, we will report back from Valencia. Cannot wait.
Yeah. Wish us luck.
Yeah. Ciao.
Ciao.